My name is Declan Meehan and I'm the chairperson of Rye Community Centre. Rye Community Centre, where we are here now, is in the heart of the River Glenalla Catchment area. Glenalla Catchment is based between Rathmullen, Ramelton and Milford, largely in the townland of Rye and Glenalla. The population living in and around it is approximately 2,000 people, and in the catchment area itself, which is quite rural, is around 800 people. The Glenalla River enters Lough Swilly just at Rye Bridge, which would be quite a famous landmark locally. It's on the main road between Ramelton and Rathmullen, and at that point the river is tidal. The Glenalla River isn't a huge river by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite a small stream at times. It grows into a larger stream as it comes downhill. It originates at the top of the hills here in Glenalla, which in English means the Glen of the Swans. So previously people would have seen swans both on the river and down at the estuary. The river originates up at Lough Callie at the top of Glenalla. It flows down through the forest and largely flows through farmland until it reaches the estuary down at Lough Swilly. The land around it is mostly farmland and a mix of woodland and also bog.
Earlier this year, the Rye Community Centre Committee contacted us about running a project to do with their rivers, and what they had done is they'd applied for money through the Local Authority Waters programme, and they granted them money to run a visioning exercise, and this involved bringing all the local community together and also to learn more about the rivers, what's happening in the rivers, look at the biodiversity, look at all the different activities that go on in the catchment, and help the community to bring that together in a visioning exercise. The Rye Community Centre have been doing great work here in the community, creating a beautiful woodland wall, running activities that are really bringing everyone together to look at all the positive things that can be done for the river. Every idea, every thought that everyone has is worthy of going down onto this plan to come together to collaborate on this vision and see what they can plan for the future.
How do we create a vision for a catchment? In Rye, we invited the local community to gather at the community centre. There we chatted about the local area, shared old stories and heard about some of the local customs. Often at the start of a community visioning exercise, we have a short talk on a topic such as biodiversity or heritage, which can be delivered by a local expert. We then start on creating our vision and explaining that this vision is aimed at developing a plan for the catchment that will help protect water quality, improve biodiversity and nurture our connection with nature. We asked the community 3 questions.
Tonight we're inviting the community from the catchment area and the neighbouring towns to come in and have their say. And this is very much a grassroots project where we want to take the people in who live in the community and for them to create and develop their own vision for the Glenalla catchment and what their priorities are for preserving water quality, biodiversity and the structure of the Glenalla River for themselves but also for future generations.
The first question we posed to the group is, what does the river mean to you? Think about how you feel about the river. How often do you visit it? What do you know about how the river was used in the past? What does the river do? Do you think the river is healthy?
The Glenalla catchment is based between Milford, Ramelton and Rathmullen, and this is a very beautiful part of the county and the country of which we're very proud. So protecting the Glenalla River is as much about protecting a local beauty spot as much as anything else. It's very important that we preserve it for not just visitors and tourists to the area but also for the locals that live here. So that forms a big part of why we're doing this project. The other aspect is that the Glenalla speaks to a lot of local history and heritage of the area. There would have been a fair bit of industry on the Glenalla back in the 18th, 19th and even in the 20th centuries. We would have had flax and corn mills based on the Glenalla River at different times over those centuries. So it was something that also powered local industry.
What would you like to see happen on the river? What are the future opportunities for recreation, farming, business, education? What kind of activities would you like to see? What do you think would work best for the river, and what do you think would work best for the community?
Since the project started, we've embarked on two kind of major components on it so far, and we've had an engagement meeting with local landowners, with whose land basically is placed in the catchment area. So we met with a number of them, and they were very keen to learn more about how to improve water quality and how to encourage greater biodiversity in and around the river, but also on their own land bordering the river as well. So that's a key part of the project, to engage with all members of the community so that they all know what their part is and how they can play it in improving and protecting the Glenalla catchment.
We're lucky here. We're lucky in Donegal, and in this part of Donegal we have a lot of biodiversity. Our biodiversity is still very rich, and the Glenalla catchment has a lot of trees, a lot of great riparian habitat, and a lot of wildflowers and all of the associated animals and plants with that.
We also had a community-based nature walk. We had 40 people of all ages taking part in that, and that was a fantastic piece in order to raise awareness among people in the community of what exists currently in terms of biodiversity in the river and what the indicators are of good water quality.
The water quality here is of a moderate standard, and there's plenty of pressures like there is on all our river systems in Ireland as we develop and build and move about and so on. But really this project is all about trying to address that, trying to identify what the issues are, and that's what's going to be happening this evening at this visioning exercise. People seeing what they would like to see for the river themselves, for the habitats themselves, and also how can be improved and the quality of the water as a result.
So what we learned as part of that is that the water quality is medium in the Glenalla River, but back as far as 1992, the water quality would have been high. So there has been a degradation in the water quality over the past 30 years, and that's kind of proved as a catalyst for this project, so that we can that we can learn to see what we can do to improve that water quality and engage the community as a whole to work towards that goal.
Who needs to be involved in your vision? Think about what you would like to see happen. What local organisations can get involved? What agencies can help? Who needs to be contacted? What do you think these people can do? What can you do? After we have explored these questions, we share our thoughts and ideas. These will be brought together to create our vision for the catchment and an action plan for the future.
A visioning exercise helps the local community come together to discuss all the different aspects of the issue and bring together all their ideas, all their recommendations, get them to think about the past, present and future of their river and what do they want to see going forward. But the important thing about a visioning exercise is that it brings everyone, all the stakeholders in the community together and gives them ownership over what happens in the future.
It was lovely to be here tonight. It was great to see such a nice turnout of people who are interested in biodiversity and in their local area and interested in developing the river in a sustainable manner, I suppose, for both the community and for all the animals and wildlife that live along the river.
I thought it was really lovely. It was really lovely to come together with other people from my community and hear what was important about the river from them and what they would like to see happen. It's a very active community here actually. We only moved here last year and it's one of the things we really liked was that people here were very involved in different things and seemed to have an interest in nature, and there was just generally a great community spirit, so I think it definitely can be the start of something. So
it's lovely to be here at the start of what I'm hoping to be a very exciting project and an ongoing project that will involve as much of the local community as possible.
After this visioning exercise this evening, we hope to work on an action plan which will deal with the catchment area, the Glenalla catchment area. And after that, when we have the action plan, we hope then to take that action plan to the local authority, state agencies and Law Pro to prioritise different actions within that plan as the next steps.